Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to my new subscribers. Starting to see a little bit of momentum on my channel, which is great. Help me grow my channel. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You know what to do. You can also help me out. Go check out my other channel called Wisdom and Brews, where it's more lighthearted topics, teaching spirituality and empowerment on a personal level. And so I'm doing this video kind of based on request from a viewer on some topics. And if you want to ask a question or request a topic, you check out the description below. And I will do my best to answer your question in a video. You will remain anonymous. I will not use your name or provide any information that might. This is what I noticed too, is that a lot of people who are on the apologetic parent, who's dealing with a high conflict parent, are usually pretty afraid that if the high conflict parent knows that they're involved in this, that'll be used against them. Truth be told, that might be true. They might try to use it against you, but it really only works, to me, a lot of their tactics only work in court if you pander to it, if you give into the fear of what it is that they're actually trying to accomplish or try to do to you. That is when you are actually putting some credence into the tactic that they're using. It's far more likely to work, which is why it's like I've gotten a lot of success. I mean, a lot of success out of just being really aggressive about challenging the narrative. I mean, I for example, talked to someone who was being accused of having a substance problem, and family and the other parent evidently convinced the court to check his home, or to convince the court to get the cops to check his home. And he was really worried, and I'm like, no, the family court does not have jurisdiction over the cops. The cops look at this and go, who do they think they are? I mean, this is the narcissism. Sorry. This video, I'm warning you, this video is going to contain a lot of bad mouthing of the court system. It's starting now. The narcissism of family court, that they could just tell the cops to randomly go to citizens' house and check the place for substances, not based on anything. No. And I told him, I said, look, if you do that, if you contact the police department, they'll say that's a civil matter. We don't do that. And I was right. Don't be afraid to challenge them, is sort of my point here. But I want to talk about the high conflict parent coaching the child. Okay. Now, here's the thing, is courts, this is where I'm going to badmouth family court some more, okay? So buckle in. Family courts, as I've said before, they don't know the first thing. The lawyers and the judge and or commissioners, I'm talking about the attorneys, the judge, and the commissioner when I say the family court, they don't know the first thing about child psychology or family science. They can't tell the difference between, I don't know, this cup of coffee and child abuse. They're vastly incompetent. There is basically zero standards of practice, what to do in this case, what to do in that case. So if you go to if it comes up in family court that the children are being coached to push a certain narrative, that's like, and putting that in front of the family court, the lawyers and the judge and the commissioners, that's like asking a monkey to solve a math problem. They have no idea what to do with that. They can't tell the difference. They don't know the first thing about this. So here's my take on it, okay? First of all, usually, like, let's say someone goes to court and say that parent is coaching the kid. There's really, on the surface, it's very difficult to determine who's actually, and if the accusation comes up, it might be being done. It actually could be. But here's sort of where I draw the difference, because I did actually work a case where there was a strong allegation of child coaching to the point where one parent was on the verge of losing their complete custodial rights because the court was buying into this accusation of one of the parents coaching the kids. Okay, so what I found was that the kids were accusing the parent that claimed coaching to be physically abusive. And according to that parent, the parent being accused of the abuse, the kids were being coached to say that about that parent. Now, these kids were younger. They were like 10 and 11. And their distress, when I interviewed them and evaluated them, their distress was genuine. And I thought, man, if these kids are being coached, that is one skilled parent. This parent is teaching the world's greatest acting classes. Kids cannot fabricate, can't just conjure up genuine distress. The other thing is usually it's an inch deep. You start asking questions. You start, a kid might say, "Oh, yeah, mom abuses me." Right? Did you see the emotion that I showed? And you go, "Really? What happened? What happened?" They hit me. Well, what was the circumstance? What was the situation when this happened? What was going on? I don't remember. When did this happen? I don't remember. I even had this. I even was witness to some parent coaching where the parent was sitting with the kid and said, "Yeah, the other parent hit me," or no, the parent was angry at me, and then I asked the kid, "And then what?" And the kid looked at the parent. "Yeah, oh, I don't remember. Then what?" And the parent goes, "And then you were hit." And the kid goes, "Oh yeah, that's right, I was hit." And yeah, coaching. That was flagrant. It was the most flagrant. Man, I couldn't believe it. Like, I watched you. I'm watching you doing it. Okay, but here's the problem. Don't expect a court to understand or know this. I feel like a skilled, qualified professional can spot it, can nab it and go, yeah, something's up. Something's going on here. But don't, expect the court to even care in the first place. They may not. Again, the family court, it astounds me that so much power is given to such a vastly incompetent system. They can make decisions that will drastically alter the life of children, both parents, life in general, based on nothing. There's no standards of practice. None. They have basically zero guidelines. It's just whatever they feel like doing that day. And they have a law degree. There's no degree in family science. There's no crash course in child psychology. Nothing. Here's your law degree. Okay, now go make decisions for families? Are you kidding me? This is a joke. In case you didn't notice, in case you can't tell, the family court system boils my blood like you would not believe. So, what to do if the kid is being coached? You're really going to want to find a qualified professional that can help make that determination. Ask the court to appoint a qualified professional to make a determination in the situation, especially if the allegations are serious. If the kid is being coached and being accused of the parent doing something nefarious, evil, or abusive, you're going to want to get it. You're going to want to get a professional. Now, here's the thing. The kids can really, I found, be successfully or effectively coached in a certain window, and usually that window is like, about 10 to 12 years old, 9 to 12 maybe, kind of depending on the intelligence or the maturity of the kid. Beyond that, really challenging. Below that, extremely challenging. Here's the other thing too. For me, as an evaluator, as a professional, if I come across a situation where a kid is 6, 7 years old, maybe 8 years old, and the kid is making these determinations where, like, the kid might be saying, mom is doing all this horrible things against my dad. Kids are not intellectually mature enough. They're just incapable of making those character judgments. That's a projection. That's a kid being coached. That's a kid just parroting or repeating what someone else has told them. An 8-year-old doesn't look at the actions of dad and determine them to be evil towards mom. They don't know the difference. Their brain is just not capable of it. But again, if you take that to family court and you have a 7-year-old saying, yeah, dad is really mean to mom or whatever, family court has no grasp on child development, and that the child's brain is just not frankly capable of that. So if you're in a situation where you have a younger child that is saying something like that, where mommy's being super mean to daddy, and so therefore mommy's evil and mean, and the kid is like 6, 7 years old, feel free to bring it up to the court that the child is not intellectually and mentally mature enough to make those determinations. They're incapable. But again, if don't be surprised if you bring that to the court and they go, yeah, that's nice, whatever, moving on. Don't expect them to care. And if they do care, don't expect them to know what on earth to do about it. Which is why I've been a big advocate for a long time that mental health professionals need to have a much greater presence in family court. And unfortunately, family court has a way of chasing us off because the lawyers have a way of chasing us off. They have a way of making our lives an absolute living hell, and the judge will sign off on this nonsense, trying to make us appear unqualified and just harass us. And the judges sign off on this crap, and so we don't want anything to do with family court. It's terrible. It's a nightmare. It's a total mess. So those are some of my thoughts. I know that's messy. I hope it's helpful. But those are some of my thoughts on what to do or what to think when children are being coached. Okay? Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time.